What you saw today between Lamine Yamal and Nuno Mendes wasn't just a duel on the field. It was a real battle of generations, a clash between the most hyped promise of Spanish soccer and a fullback who looks like he was born to shut down stars. The big question is the new best in the world ready to handle the weight of giants? Or did Barcelona sell an illusion that falls apart when faced with a player who plays serious, who doesn't get intimidated, and who defends like few others? What looked like Yamal's statement game turned into Nuno Mendes' big night. And here's my challenge to you. Do you really believe Yamal is everything the media says? Because today, in front of your eyes, he was nothing but a side character. Sure, he had a good first half, showed up in a few plays, but then what? He disappeared. He was completely shut down by a fullback who, let's be honest, is being called a Valverde type because he can play anywhere and never hides. Who shined? Who won the head-to-head battle? Did you see what I saw? And what if I told you the media already knew Yamal could fall into this trap? Think about it. When a player is hyped as the best in the world in the making, don't you think there's something behind it? Sponsorships, Spanish media inflating numbers, journalists trying to create a new Messi at all costs. Then PSG comes along and shows that, in practice, the kid still has a long way to go. Can you see the difference between hype and reality? Now let me ask you, is Barcelona creating a monster of pressure? Because every big Yamal game becomes a headline. But those who check the numbers and consistency can see he's not there yet. Is he good? He's great. But is he ready to dominate world soccer the way they're selling him? Or is this just another soap opera to fool Barca fans desperate for a new idol after living in Messi's shadow for so many years? And here comes the contrast. Nuno Mendes, with no hype, no media machine, no need to be sold as the savior of Portuguese soccer. The guy just walks onto the field and does his job. What's more valuable, being the guy shining in TV ads, or being the guy who, when the ball rolls, destroys his opponent and still has energy to push forward in attack? Which profile do you respect more as a fan? And let's go further. Did you notice how PSG treated Yamal? It wasn't just Nuno Mendes. The whole team looked programmed to swallow the kid. Whenever he got the ball, 2 or 3 players were already closing in. That's not coincidence, that's tactics. That's respect. But it also shows that Barcelona has become a team dependent on just one promise. What happens when that kid gets shut down? What's left? Does Rafinha step up? Does Pedri solve it? Does the defense hold? Or has Barcelona turned into a team that falls apart when their 16-year-old jewel can't shine? Now imagine the mental impact. Yamal is young, but the pressure is huge. How will he react after being put in a pocket by Nuno Mendes? Will he grow stronger or carry this scar like a ghost? Always remembering that when it mattered, a Portuguese fullback showed he wasn't ready yet. Do you believe he has the mindset to overcome this trauma? Or will he follow the same path as so many young players destroyed by expectations? And here's another point. Fan, what we saw today raises a big question. Will UEFA and the Spanish press keep pumping Yamal after a blackout like this? Or will they just act like nothing happened and continue with the young best in the world storyline? Did you notice how the big media didn't show the plays where Nuno Mendes completely dominated him? Why is that? Isn't it strange that the cameras always try to highlight just Yamal's few good minutes? Now tell me, do you think it's fair that a kid who hasn't won anything yet, who hasn't decided big games, is being placed above names who have already proven their value on the field? Nuno Mendes doesn't get the hype Yamal does. But don't you think the Portuguese has already shown in Champions, in the Euro, and in big games that he can be one of the best fullbacks in the world? Why don't they give him the same weight? Is it because he plays at PSG? Because he's not Spanish? or because the press desperately needs a new face to sell to the world? Another thing nobody mentions: Nuno Mendes not only shut down Yamal, he still pushed forward with authority. Did you notice that even while marking the kid, he had the energy to attack and create plays? That's modern soccer. That's intensity. Meanwhile, Yamal disappeared in the second half, unable to track back and help defensively. So I ask you, who's more complete today? The 16-year-old with all the hype, or the Portuguese fullback who looks like he's playing 3 positions at once? And what if we flip the script? Can you imagine Yamal playing for PSG, fighting for a spot against stars like Dembélé, Kvaratskhelia, and even Mbappé before leaving? Would he have the same status? Would he have the freedom to make so many mistakes? Or would he just be another youngster waiting for a chance on the bench? That's the point. Barcelona needs Yamal to be a giant now. PSG doesn't need that from Nuno Mendes, but he imposes himself anyway and shows he is a giant. Who deserves more credit? At the end of the day, what you saw today was a message. Barcelona wants to sell a promise as reality. PSG showed that promises don't win big games yet. Yamal shined for a few minutes, but the one who kept shining until the final whistle was Nuno Mendes. And now, fan, I ask you directly, are we watching the start of a historic rivalry? Will Yamal have the courage to seek revenge? Or will we see the same script play out every time Barcelona faces PSG? Because if it depends on what we saw today, the result is written. Barcelona dependent on a kid who isn't ready yet, against a PSG that looks more complete every time, even with injuries. Nuno Mendes just became the new Barca killer. Yamal, for now, became another beaten character in a story that keeps repeating itself. Now I want to hear from you. Is Yamal really all that, or is the media fooling you? Is Nuno Mendes just a fullback in good form, or does he already deserve to be ranked among the best in the world? Who won today's duel? And more, can anyone still believe in this new Barcelona?